Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
What's up? Good afternoon. Another episode of Habari Live is about to get to you right now. We're going to discuss some of the things that's been going on through the week, your top news and politics, and, just keep you guys updated, bring it to you Habari way, news our way. So first things first, man, we'll be discussing more about the Epstein Files and some of the backlash from the things that's coming through. But good afternoon and welcome to Habari Live. It's Wednesday, and this is where we break down the stories the mainstream media ignores. Ask the questions power doesn't want asked, and tell the news our way. I'm Damon, as always.
And I'm your co-host, Iesha.
Yeah, man. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. Habari Ghana, let's get it going. And let's get to the news. What's the top stories you have so far this Wednesday?
Oh, man. A lot's been happening this week. But first off, Donald Trump this week has publicly threatened to sue comedian Trevor Noah over a joke that he made while he was hosting the Grammy Awards earlier this week. Noah quipped that Trump, along with former President Clinton, needed a new island to hang out on, and that Epstein Island is gone. And Trump responded on social media denying that he'd ever even been to Epstein's Island and called Noah's remarks false and defamatory, warning that he'll have some fun with him legally.
This dude is so thin-skinned. He wants to sue everyone who says anything about him, anybody that writes anything about him, anyone that puts on TV anything about him. He wants to sue him. Like, man, I don't get it. This dude is just. I mean, you're the president, bro. People are gonna have opinions about things that you have going on, and you may not like the opinions of the people that's speaking. But for you to, every time someone says something about you, here you go talking about, I'm gonna sue him.
Right.
Like, man, dude, don't you have better things to do as the president than watch fucking Grammys and listen to what people say and get mad and try to sue them? Like, man, you can't say grow up, because the dude is 70 fucking 9 or 80 or whatever the hell he is. And he
too grown.
Too old to be acting the way he acts. I mean, it's disgraceful. I ain't talking about suing the dude. I happened to be scrolling through and I saw a video on Trevor Noah's page. And in the video, he was making fun of Joe Biden in front of Joe Biden. Joe Biden, he said, "Oh man, nobody listens to Joe Biden." Joe Biden laughing, having a good time. Trump can't do that. We can't have any of the roasts that we used to have when they used to roast all the presidents. He's too thin-skinned. He can't do that.
He can't take a joke.
He can't take it. So all of the fun stuff that used to go on in government is all shut down. No one wants to hear any of those things because Trump is mad when it goes down. Nah, man, what kind of crap is that, dude? Grow up, Trump, man.
Right.
It's already a situation right now where everyone's on the edge. And the way that people used to get feel good about the situation, wow, is to I suck. Is to laugh about some of the stuff that's going on. Laughter was used to always be the antidote to the things that's going on in the government. And
not
now
anymore.
We don't even have that. We was watching him shut down the Kennedy Center for, he says, 2 years. I guess he's talking about renovating the building and some other crazy stuff. But we all know the truth.
It's because ain't no tickets being sold.
No one wants to come see or hang out with this guy who doesn't like art. He doesn't like comedy. He doesn't like singing. He doesn't like anything. So we got a dude in the White House who straight up does not like any of the arts. So the Kennedy Center was shut down. It'll be out of commission for 2 years until we get a responsible fucking president, instead of this dude who just dislikes everyone and everything. So he goes after comedians. He goes after singers. Dude cracked a little joke. He's mad. I'ma sue. Like, man, grow up, man. And then wonder why people call him authoritarian.
Right.
I mean, you just have an authoritarian fucking streak in you that's just ridiculous. All you want to do is be mad at people who crack a cup fucking jokes. Like, dude is a comedian. This is his job. He's always mad at Jimmy Kimmel and anybody on nighttime TV. He's pissed off at them. He's mad. He's upset that somebody's talking about him here. Like, it's stupid shit, man. Grow up, Trump, please. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, man. You did you see the video of your boy pooping himself in front of everybody and the people behind him? You see that? You see that video, Ozzy, of your president pooping on himself? Oh man, dog. Always talking trash, dude, to protect that bum. Anyway, go to the next story.
Moving on. A new bipartisan bill in Arizona legislature seeks to establish a $5 million rental assistance program to support residents who are struggling with housing affordability amid the rising costs of rent. The plan would direct some of the state funds to help renters facing eviction or financial shortfalls. Lawmakers say that it is a starting point to address the housing affordability in communities across Arizona. And if passed, the measure could provide immediate relief to vulnerable families and bolster efforts to keep residents housed during economic uncertainty.
Man, it's tough, man. You hate to see people homeless. You hate to see people without housing. And the way rent prices exploded in the last 5 years,
5-6 years,
has been just terrible for the city. And as you watch and you see what's going on, you see all these homeless people walking around everywhere. You see that, man, it's bad. So something had to be done. I'm happy that they're trying to do something. We'll watch and see if this bill does anything to help people that are struggling. But this is a step in the good right direction, and that's what it's about, man. We can't just keep putting in policies, making it illegal for people to be homeless, making it illegal to do this, illegal to do that with the homeless, illegal to give them money, illegal to panhandle, but you don't do anything on the back end to help people to get affordable housing, to help people stay in their homes when they're facing evictions. Yeah, man, I know you people don't want people to get a handout. I understand. But at the same time, our homeless population is just, it's astronomical right now. And we have to do something to help those people, because when the people are on the streets, then it becomes the whole city's problem. And we've had record evictions in Phoenix. Oh, and I know this is going on in city after city across the country, where people are just being evicted, and no one can get access to help, and everybody's just living on the streets. And that's just, man, that's not it, man. That's not what you want going on, and it's not going to help the city become better going through situations like that.
Not at all. But I'm glad that they are finally doing something to address the issue, or at least to start addressing the issue. But moving on, the Arizona Corporation Commission has ordered a local financial advisor to pay almost $1.4 million in restitution for involvement in a cryptocurrency investment fraud scheme. The ruling also includes additional penalties aiming to compensate victims who were steered into fraudulent crypto programs. Regulators emphasize the need for transparency and investor protection in digital asset markets.
Mm.
As digital assets investments grow in popularity, regulators are cracking down on deceptive practices and protecting Arizona investors from the schemes that are rising.
I mean, this is something that the president himself is into, this scandalous cryptocurrency. He's getting money from Saudi people, and some other people put investments together to help Trump. And it is looking really, really shady, man. This is something is a conflict of interest is really, really, really high. And this cryptocurrency is a way for people to give him money, and no one can really track it or trace it. That's why these people like this stuff. I just don't. I don't like crypto. I think it's a scam, and it's nothing but scams coming out of it so far. All of the scams is coming out. People getting scammed. All these white collar fraudulent crimes, and people are sitting around acting like this stuff is okay because it's gaining money on the market. But man, I just think it's a shady practice, and it's, to me, it's just ridiculous. I don't want to see cryptocurrency. I mean, they're trying to act like it's a valuable currency, and I just don't understand how they think that this is not valuable, viable. But I just don't see it, and a lot of people have invested in it, but it seems to me it's just a way to hide money, do scams coming through the money, rip people off by having people invested in something that really doesn't really uh, um, have any fucking wealth to it or value to it. I don't know. I just don't like it. And you know what I mean? It's one of those things that I'm just not into the crypto thing. But all the stories that keep coming out is scam after scam. And there's scams in regular money too. But it seems like the scams are coming at a higher pace when it comes to this crypto. So I don't know, man. Some regulations are going to have to be put in place with this. But you have the president fighting against any regulations when it comes to AI and crypto and all these different data currencies that's being created. And I just don't know, man, what's the future hold with this stuff. And I just see a lot of people getting ripped off and losing their inheritance and losing their retirement and losing a lot of stuff because of this cryptocurrency. And like I keep saying, the president's using it as a way to launder money and to get money from other countries and other places he shouldn't be taking money from. But that's what's going on.
Hey, it shouldn't be, but it is.
Yeah, we got what you say. How can you help someone who doesn't want to help themselves? You can't. I don't know why people automatically think just because someone's on hard time that they don't want to help themselves. It could be a situation where they ran into hard time. It could be medical. It could be physical. It could be they lost their job. They couldn't find a new one. Like, I just don't understand why so many people just assume someone's having a hard time that they're a loser and they don't want to do anything with their lives. Yeah, there might be some people out there who don't want to do anything, who don't want to do shit. But do everyone has to suffer because a couple of people don't want to do anything? Most people want to work and make the best out of situations. I don't think people wake up like, how can I freeload today? I don't think most people are like that. But hey, it could be. It could be. We don't understand what you're saying. Ignores is blessed in this what? Yeah. If you're talking shit, I don't you need to spell better.
Anywho, lastly, a major global analysis has been released ahead of World Cancer Day. And it finds that up to nearly 40% of new cancer cases worldwide are preventable through risk factors modification. The study covers data from 185 different countries in 36 different types of cancers, estimating around 7.1 million out of 18.7 million new cases in 2022 were linked to preventable causes.
Mm.
Tobacco use is the single biggest preventable risk factor, followed by infections and alcohol consumption. Lung, stomach, and
What's wrong?
cervical cancers amount to nearly half of those preventable
You got a potty.
cases, where experts say that stronger tobacco control, infection prevention like the HPV vaccination, healthier lifestyles, and improved air quality could significantly reduce the cancer burden globally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not like people don't know these things. It's not like people aren't being taught or told which products and well, not all products, but most of the products that's cancerous. And we're not doing much to change that lifestyle. People are still smoking cigarettes. It's so many different things that we do in the environment also that hurts. People and people get cancer from some of these products and foods that people are ingesting, but we have to do better, man. But we just have to do better. We put warning labels on everything, telling people, but the alcohol consumption is going down when it comes to the youth. Kids aren't smoking cigarettes anymore, so it's working to a certain degree. But there's also new things that comes out. We have everybody's vaping. We don't know what's going to be the term consequences for the vapes. We don't know what will happen on those things. So it's a lot of stuff that we have to deal with and try to figure out when it comes to these cancers. You left that in there, boss? Okay. So let me see. Where are the unredacted Epstein files? That's real, man. That's real. Where are all the files? That's real. What up, Dirk Bike Juice, Gen Z vapes? Yeah, they do. And we don't know if these people that's vaping all the time, will they have long-term consequences for the vapes? What ailments will come from taking everybody vaping all the time? So we hope that it's nothing, but we don't know for sure. And then it's no regulation when it comes to what chemicals are in these vapes. No one's regulating any of these things to make sure that there isn't any chemicals coming out of these. And we're going to have to do more to make sure that these things are taken care of. But usually when it comes to companies, America let them do whatever they want to until thousands start to die. And then they then finally make a decision like, hey, maybe we need to do something. But, they usually wait until it's too late before they make sure that these products are regulated. I mean, how long did it take for them to do something about cigarettes? Watch this from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They didn't start doing anything until the 90s when the companies started getting sued on the regular. So, it's America. We are a capitalistic country. We believe in companies being able to make the money that they want, but they should have to see regulations. And then Republicans are anti-regulations, anti-rules. They don't want regulations, but you have to have regulations, or these companies just run muck to do whatever the fuck they can. So I don't know what do we do in America, but we still have products that the FDA hasn't said are okay when it comes to these uh, um, protein shakes and all these shakes that everybody's taking to gain weight, and all these testosterone pumpers and all these things that people are taking. FDA hasn't said any of these things are good yet, but they're still being sold. We don't know what's going to be the effects of these things. Will it be cancers? Will it be all these other things? We don't know. But I just wish the FDA would do a better job of going through, making sure things are okay before these products are sold to millions. But they seem to do the opposite. Wait till it's sold to millions, see what the after effects is, and then make their decisions from there, which is just, it seems to be crazy. Like, it should be regulations that these companies have to go through before their product hits the market. But that's not that is not what is happening. So I want to get straight into it today, man. We gonna go into the top story, the new Epstein Files dump from last week, and we've seen a lot of things, but we wanted to go over some of the things that has been eye popping so far. We've seen a lot of big names in this disastrous case. Everybody's been trying to hide. A lot of names and a lot of people are being pointed at and blamed. We have Nicki Minaj bringing up Jay-Z and bringing up other people and making lies and horrible accusations with terrible pictures that are photoshopped and wrong ages and names and everything is on the thing. So I don't know. Anything that have natural flavors in it is bad as fuck and is made out of literally black mold. Ends anything that has enriched and bleached. Like, yeah, man, bread is definitely something that people need to stay away from, man. These breads that have all these preservatives, American bread is just terrible. And that's why I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't eat nothing but fresh bread. I don't eat Wonder Bread out the package. I just don't eat that stuff. It's too many preservatives. It's just horrible. How about a person? So you tell me, how is a normal everyday person is supposed to look at the ingredients on the back of a package and decipher exactly what all those chemicals are and what they do to the body? Like right now, it's so much misinformation and confusion when it comes to the things that people are saying are bad and some doctors are saying are good. Doing your own research is not always the answer, especially when it comes to something that is this high and this important. When people are putting out products that a lot of people are buying, it should be left to the experts to make sure that these products are what they say they are. Yeah, there should also be consumer concernment. They should also definitely make sure that, hey, these products, but that's not what people do. The product is put on the shelf. People assume that it must be good. It is being sold at Walmart and all these other places. They assume that this company has done all the rigorous testing to make sure that this is safe for people. People to assume that the everyday Joe is going to go and do all these researches and tests and shit by himself. Like, what he's supposed to do? Clinical tests? He's not, you know what I mean? That this is something that the company and the government, the FDA, was supposed to do before the product was okayed. I mean, that's just, to me, that's common sense.
That's what their job is.
That's what you think they do. Yes, Dr. Fauci is definitely an expert. No matter what you guys try to say about him, he was the doctor for ages. And we never had a problem with him until you guys got mad because you don't believe in fucking flus. And you don't believe in masks. And you don't want to take a shot to help to get the flu. Something that's done every year. Mask doctors wear them daily to try to keep germs away from them. But you guys, y'all know better because you did some fucking internet search on the Google. You know better than all doctors and everybody else. Fuck out of here, man. Niacin is another ingredient in foods, processed foods that will make it not able to digest foods. Yeah, man, I've heard some things about that, but I've heard some people who say that isn't as true, and it's not as bad, and it's okay in a certain amount of doses, and that's why the FDA okays it. And those are the lines that are tough when they say that it's okay as long as it's not in this amount or this amount. But if it's bad, it's bad. That's what people look at it and say. But they let this go on because they thought, hey, as long as you're not eating a lot of this chemical, it shouldn't kill you and it shouldn't make you anything. But we're like, man, if this thing it's deadly, why would we eat this?
Right.
So it's definitely a discussion that everyone needs to have, man. And we need experts, people who are working on these things daily to come in and say, what they think, and we need to have these discussions because we can't just go off Google and what we Googled, and we have no idea what the fuck this shit is. I have no idea what the fuck niacin is. He wasn't a doctor. He was who are you saying was? Dr. Fauci is still alive. You talked about him. And that's ridiculous. The dude was a doctor for decades before COVID came out, and no one ever had a problem. You didn't even know the dude's name. The only reason you know his name now is because COVID, and y'all flipped out because someone asked you to fucking keep your distance for a little while. But anyway, let's get into this, Habari Nation. The Epstein Files just hit the public like a nuclear bomb. On January 30th, 2026, the Department of Justice dropped a massive document dump over 3.5 million files, we all know, tied to Jeffrey Epstein, and they claim it's part of a full compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, even though they are not very transparent. When it comes to the files, the redactions of entire pages is still there. So the fight is not over. It's still more information that we feel should be redacted. Not redacted. Unredacted. And some of the people that they left unredacted is ridiculous. Victims and people are getting threats. People are scared. So it's ridiculous what people are going through. What's up, Ralph? We appreciate it, man. But what's in the release is only half the story because the fallout is already bigger than the files. We're talking about Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew. He's taken with a picture with the little girl on the floor. I know we've all seen the picture. Disgusting stuff. Steve Bannon is in there. Orange Summers. And yes, Donald Trump's name is in there hundreds of times. Donald Trump is in there. Now they're taking Bill Clinton and Hillary to go to court, but Hillary and them, they said, let's make sure we make this public. Because the Republicans, what they were trying to do is they're just trying to make a save face. Instead of coming, what's up, Ryan? What's going on, brother? How are you? Doing well. Instead of doing what you need to do and making sure everyone is held accountable, they're playing political games by bringing in the Clintons and trying to do a hidden meeting 38,000 times. That's crazy. But the DOJ, they didn't just release documents, they released chaos. A lot of information was released because in the middle of all this transparency, the DOJ also managed to expose victim information, like I said, through sloppy redactions. Names, faces, emails, almost 100 survivors. That's not transparency. That's negligence. And terrible, terrible job by the DOJ, man. They did a horrible, horrible job. But the people they are trying to protect are not the victims. That's why they did a sloppy job redacting this information, because that's not who they are trying to protect. They are trying to protect Mr. Trump at all cost, and any other people that has been in the mix and has felt the consequences of this. So be it. As long as Mr. Trump's name is not shown in the places but it doesn't make any sense because the two cases that his name comes up with is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, but for those that are tuning in, welcome to Habari Live Wednesday. We're going to break down the story that the news outlets are ignoring. And today's episode is one of the most serious, disturbing, and revealing ones that we've ever had to do.
Oh.
You lost.
No, I'm not. I did not think it did that again, but go ahead, though.
It's bigger than who knew who. It's about power, networks, and institutional failure. And the fact that even now, after all the documentaries, and after all the court cases, and the truth is still being controlled by the Trump administration. The amount of redactions that they had in there, I think The last time I counted, it was like 200 pages that had been redacted.
Mm. Yeah, man, it's pretty ridiculous, man. The amount of information that they are still hiding. I mean, we understand when it comes to these cases to redact the names of the victims, but they haven't even been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the information, all the blacked out pages, I feel as though they're protecting Trump to the highest. And let's start here with the basics, though, so nobody can twist this up. Something that the Trumpers will do anyway. The Epstein Files Transparency Act was passed, and the DOJ had a deadline to release the Epstein-related investigative records. That law was signed on November 19th, 2025. Then on January 30th, DOJ announces they reviewed about 6 million pages. They released around 3.5, and they claim it completes compliance. Doesn't sound like it to me. The math isn't math. And when you got 6 million, but you only release 3.5, seems like you have 3 million more there.
3.5 million more.
Exactly.
Or
No, 2.5.
2.5.
But here's what I need you all to understand. A document dump like this isn't justice. It's not accountability. It's a giant mess thrown into the public. So the public fights over celebrity names while the actual system that protects Epstein remains shielded.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Why didn't Obama or Biden release it? Because they don't control the DOJ. They let the DOJ be separate. Trump and his people ran on this. They talked about it continuously. So to try to blame others, why didn't they do it? They didn't run on it. Obama didn't run on it. Biden didn't run on it. Trump did.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But this is where it gets insulting. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche has been out there saying basically that, look, we reviewed it and nothing here allows new charges. That's their posture. And of course, people hear that and they're thinking, so all of this and nobody goes down for it.
Mm.
But here's the game that they're playing. They're relying on the public not understanding how prosecutions work and how time works. Because a lot of these events happened years ago. They happened across multiple jurisdictions and with victims who are minors in environments where evidence got buried. And the longer something goes on, the harder it becomes to prosecute. Not because it didn't happen, but because the system wasn't designed to punish powerful predators. It was designed to protect them.
I mean,
that's what it's doing.
It seems when you look at the deals that he was given, when you look at how long it took him to get prosecuted, we're hearing that the police, the FBI knew about this as far back as 1995, where cases that were probably viable were ignored because these people have money. You know, that the part that's it's just ridiculous when you look at how law enforcement have treated women that come in with cases, and we've seen time after time these the officers have backed up files of rape and the sexual assault cases that they haven't even looked into. America has a problem of ignoring the issues of women when they are coming forward, and that's why a lot of women don't come forward, because their complaints and what they ask for is always pushed under the rug and ignored. No one cares, and it's ridiculous, man. Now everybody talking about, oh, it's both sides, Democrat and Republicans, but hey, man, you see Steve Bannon, you see a lot of people that deal with Trump. You know, we seen Gates, we got Bill Clinton. His name is in there. They'll be going to trial, to at least to Congress to talk about the files. You know, they said they'll come, they'll be open as possible. But we have Trump's name with several allegations, several terrible allegations, man. Things that he's supposedly done. The accusations are horrible. Little girls saying what he did to them. It's crazy to see him try to duck the questions and get mad at anybody who asks him anything about it. It's horrible. Everybody's pointing fingers at everyone else, talking about how everyone else needs to be held liable. But a lot of people aren't pointing at Trump, man, which is the craziest. I don't know why, but somehow he's sliding by. A lot of people are saying that they were sealed. I don't understand. I wish that he did release them. I know that the right, that's all they want to talk about. But I know that I wish he would have. Maybe less people would have voted for this dude, but I doubt it. I doubt that anything would have changed people's mind from voting from Trump's. I really don't. I don't think that this matters, and the people who like him still would have liked him. He would have got up and said, "Oh, it's just a Democrat host," and y'all would have believed it. And I just don't think it would have mattered if Biden would have released the files. He still would be the president. And that's the sucky part. It doesn't matter. He said it. I can shoot somebody and they would still love me. That's what we have here today. It doesn't matter what this dude does. He could do whatever he wants. And they're still going to love him. And let's talk about what might be the most unforgettable part of the entire release, though. The DOJ got hit with major backlash for sloppy redactions, and it reportedly exposed the identities of nearly 100 victims, supposedly. Their names, their faces, their emails. They had to temporarily remove thousands of pages to scrub them again. And this is the second time this happened, because on the first dump, this happened also. Sloppy redactions, information that was supposed to be withheld, let go loosely into the public. And I want to say this clearly, though, for everyone. If you cannot protect the fucking victims, then you do not deserve to call yourself the fucking Department of Justice. Mm-hmm. This is re-traumatization at a federal level, man. And it makes people question this motive. Who was this, carelessness? Or was this part of the plan to try to keep the eyes off of Trump? To make everything so messy and fucking destructive that people can't do nothing but argue amongst themselves, and then they can never really figure out what the fuck is really going on. Everyone walks away disgusted, confused, and exhausted. People have been combing through the files for all week, and it's been a lot of things that have came out. A lot of them cannot be confirmed or proved that these things really happened, because we don't know how far their investigation went. If they look into these accusations, we just see them on paper. We don't know how true, how real none of this stuff is. Only thing we can do is see it and just shake our head at how the rich has been able to get away with treating women like this for forever. It's insane. Insane. And I want everyone to pay. I don't care which side. The Clintons had anything to do with this, they should also pay. But they should not be the only people held accountable. If they're going to court, then Trump should have to go to court also. He should be held accountable also. I don't know how we can't blame Trump, man, for his own actions, man. I have to agree with Olivia here. Like, this is the guy. He's a grown man. Why do you guys keep on fighting for him to never face responsibility for anything he does? This is craziness. Now, I want to say this for legal clarity. Being named does not equal guilt, but also being named does not equal innocence. It's questions, and we all have them. Mm-hmm. Now let's get into Elon Musk. What you got?
Yep. One of the biggest headlines, Elon Musk. Here's what we need to say carefully. The files reportedly include records of interactions, visits, messages, and documentation. One message allegedly asks Epstein something like, when the wildest party would be on the island. Now, if that's accurate, we don't necessarily know. That's not an oops, I ain't know nothing about that. It's not a I'm just networking type of interaction. That was purely party planning.
Mm-hmm.
But again, people need to understand the difference between confirmed evidence versus documented claims. And that's what we're going to break down for you today. Still, because the public isn't crazy for raising their eyebrows, because this isn't some random billionaire. This is Elon Musk we're talking about, who has major federal contracts, political influence, cultural influence, and this continues the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Epstein surrounded himself with men who had money, power, and access.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about Bill Gates a little bit here. Now, his wife did come out and say, she was with him at those times, and it was a stressful time for her. She is ex. Bill came out and said he was never on the island. He did have dinners with him and met with the guy. He did stop being friends with him at a certain point. But Bill, this hurts, man. And I think Bill does a lot of good things, and I think he gets a bad rap that he doesn't deserve, especially when it comes to the health and medicine that he helps around the world to people, and the things that he does in Africa and everything else. But Epstein was mad at Bill for some of the things that he was doing helping Africa, and he called Africans losers, and he was a racist. That goes hand in hand. Pedophile and racist hand in hand for some reason. But this is looks bad on Bill Gates right now. We get into it, and which is not new, but there's supposedly new details in there. And the Gates camp has dismissed some of the claims as lurid, calling them absurd and false. But again, we have to say this, we even if you didn't participate in Epstein's crimes, why were you so close to this guy? Why were
Right.
you around a convicted predator? I mean, he wasn't convicted at that time, but it seems like some people should have known
That
what
this
was
man
going
a
on with
predator.
this dude.
Right.
And why did Epstein have so much access to people who run global health efforts, philanthropy, tech policy, international diplomacy? He was in it with royals, presidents, congressmen, all type powerful people that this guy was cool with. And that's what the public is asking, man. We want to know more. What is going on? What was being held? So now let's talk about old Trumpy.
Mm, 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 mm. Now let's deal with the loudest part here. Trump's name appears hundreds
He
of
said
thousands
38,000
of times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a mix. Some is Epstein sharing news articles. Some are allegations. Some are unverified references. But here's the point. The fact that this story turns into Democrat versus Republican is how Epstein keeps winning from the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest. Because predators don't operate in political parties. They operate in power circles.
Right.
Who's got the power? Who's got the money? Who's got the control?
Mm-hmm. And here's another one of these bastards, Prince Andrew. I can say with the Prince Andrew situation, the royals have moved fast to remove his prince status, to remove him from the homes that he had, that he was given for his status. In America, we're just, whatever. Trump's get away with it. Everybody gets away with it. Nobody faces any accountability.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say that at least the British have held this man to account when it comes to what he has done, snatching his titles away.
Right.
And he should be in jail, but at least they gave him something. What are we doing in America? We've known that Trump was all over these files forever. We made this man a president fucking twice. So he faces no accountability. That's why he feels as though he can do whatever the fuck he wants to.
Yep.
That's why he says things like that, because he knows nobody's going to hold him to account because he's a rich white guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's disturbing, man.
Very disturbing.
Very disturbing. The latest materials and pictures that came out with Prince Andrew was just disgusting. And it reportedly includes photos of him degrading imagery, unclear time, but we saw it. Him on top of a little girl, the face blacked out. But we see this is obviously a little girl. Disgusting. You know, we don't know for sure the context of what they were doing and why he was on, but your imagination runs in situation like that. And a grown ass man on top of a little girl in that situation is just, oh my goodness. And you got fucking Epstein in videos running around chasing little girls through his kitchen. Like disgusting stuff, man. These people are just nasty. Everybody, man, that has something to do with this, man, just needs to go away, including the fucking president. Like, we don't have the full chain of custody and surrounding details to definitely describe or say for sure what was going on in the fucking pictures, but it's your eyes can see it's too close to a little girl in that situation. Period. But the public is highly concerned, man. This further confirms what people already believed about Epstein's international network and what was going on that fucking island. Now let's talk a little bit about Lawrence Summers and Steve Bannon and how they were in the files also.
Two names that matter for a different reason. Lawrence Summers, who was a former Treasury Secretary, and Steve Bannon, a political operator and power broker. Summers had emails with Epstein gossiping about Trump, apparently as late as 2017. Bannon, correspondence about a possible documentary project. Let's pause for a second there. Why is Epstein, even after everything, in conversations with the elites? That alone should terrify you.
Mm-hmm.
This man is conversating with the elites, so he can still be protected.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's in there, you know, Ryan. I mean, we didn't want to talk about those things. Those things are kind of crazy, and it's without being substantiated, it's hard to talk about those type things online. You know, some of the things that were said about Trump, I don't even want to repeat them. They're so crazy. You know, and for this guy to be the president right now is just it's crazy, man. Because these accusations are insane. But one of the biggest developments are the Clintons saying they will testify, and they have agreed to testify, and they said they want it to be in public. We don't know how much they're going to know, but we do know that Bill Clinton knew the guy. You know, we know that. And we feel as though if Bill is going to be held to this and have to come to trial, then we want to see Trump in the same fucking place. Or it's some bullshit. We want to see Bannon. We want to see all these motherfuckers. Not just Bill and Hillary Clinton, because the Republicans want to play fucking politics like always.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting, man. Any more protection for these motherfuckers is bullshit, and we ain't taking it. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton reportedly agreed to testify to a House investigation this February, partly to avoid contempt issues because they wanted to hold them for contempt while ignoring everyone else that is in the fucking files. Trump names in there more than anyone, and somehow he's not the first person that they bring.
Man,
because they're playing fucking politics. They don't really give a fuck about the victims. They don't care about the fucking Americans. They don't give a fuck about us. They're going to keep playing politics. Like I said, man, before, man, you look back in the 60s and 70s, motherfuckers had fucking backbones. They held Nixon ass to account. That's why he quit. But now we don't believe in that. We're going to let this dude do whatever the fuck he wants. We're not going to hold him. We're not going to bring him to fucking court. We're not going to hold him to contempt when the same motherfuckers took Bill Clinton to court for impeachment for getting some head? Now rape and pedophilia? Let's go over the Clintons. We're not going to go after the dude that's in it every other fucking sentence? Insane shit. Anybody with a fucking brain will see that this is some bull. But they're not going to hold them to it, because they're going to let this dude keep on sitting on cussing reporters out for even bringing it up. We're going to keep on letting this guy treat everybody like trash and not bring him to court. It's crazy as fuck.
That's real.
I'm going to keep it real, man. The Clintons have had accusations, rumors, and political weapons thrown at them for decades. So their involvement becomes a magnet for conspiracy culture. They hate Hillary. They hate Bill. You know, it's hate. And they did a great job when he was in office in the 90s. But that doesn't mean the dude is perfect. He could have made some mistakes and did some crazy shit. He cheated on his wife. We see him on these files, so we want to hear what he got to say. There was never any proof that was pushed that he had anything to do with these things. The police never went after him about any of these things. But he doesn't have the crazy accusation in these files that Trump has. And Trump has several accusations from different people. But let's keep this grounded, man. Testifying doesn't mean guilt from the Clintons' part. It means Congress wants some answers, man. And it means that Epstein's story refuses to disappear. We all want some answers. And we don't think that the Clintons are the only people that should be held to the standard of getting answers. Everyone that's in these fucking files should have to come. Period. Yeah, I don't know how they gave him immunity, man. But that's going to backfire. When the day comes and it's a Democrat president and he's doing things that they don't like, and the president's able to do whatever he wants because the Supreme Court gave him immunity over everything. They'll be bitching and crying, but they are the ones that did it. So they don't have anyone to blame but them fucking selves.
Exactly. But now here's where this episode becomes bigger than any one celebrity. Advocates and members of Congress are saying millions of documents are still being withheld, even after this massive release. The DOJ is claiming that they are in compliance. Critics claim that there's a cover-up. But here's the problem. Even in this release, people are saying that the redactions are random, they're inconsistent, and they're excessive, not just for victim protection. And if that is true, then the DOJ is using privacy protection as a blanket shield to hide powerful predators while failing to actually protect the actual victims themselves. And that's the worst possible outcome that we are seeing. We are watching unfold.
Right. Yeah, man, you're right. A lot of innocent people somehow are listed, but all these people keep hollering they haven't done anything. You've done a lot because you've had something to do with this guy. This was your homeboy. And in Trump's situation, it was his best friend. All these people were hanging out with this dude, having dinners, going to his house, chilling. And I'm not saying you always know everything about somebody, man, because sometimes you just don't know. Some people are hiding who they are, and that can happen. But when we see the conversations that Trump had with Mr. Epstein, we know for sure that he knew a little something. But these guys fighting over girls and talking about girls now, don't come back, and the things that they were discussing, and how Epstein talked to, we have a fellow lover of ladies in the White House, is what was said in one of these emails. So I don't know, man. It seems to me that he knew a lot more than what that he's coming off.
Leads you to think that his death wasn't actually what it was.
I don't know, man. Lance, if the information is redacted, and people feel as though that the data that is released that has, because we know it's a certain amount of files, and if we don't get those certain amount of files, people are still going to be asking questions, and the redactions isn't helping the situation either. So I think people will come. I mean, you might be right. There's some people who won't be happy no matter what's released. Some people won't believe what's in the files no matter what, even though they've been crying for them for years, because it's not going the way they wanted to go. You know, the Republicans wanted to just be Democrats in these files, but the dude was cool with people from both sides. He wasn't worried about that. He was trying to just get close to powerful people, and he was able to do that. So here's our position at Habari, man. We do not care about partisan spin. We don't give a fuck. We don't care what side you're from. We don't care about PR cleanups. We don't care about celebrity damage control. We care about three things: protect the fucking victims, expose enablers, and prosecute accomplices where possible. And if the DOJ claims no charges are possible, then show the public why. Because you cannot build trust with secrecy, with hiding information, with redacting information. And that's what's going on right now. So we thank you for rocking with us on a heavy topic, man. If you want justice, you can't just want headlines. You have to want accountability, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it hits people like you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Become a part of Habari Nation. And if you want, you can become a member of I think it's like $2. Become a member, man. That would really help us out a lot to build up the studio, to get more journalists, more writers, more people that's on location learning about what's going on. Habari is trying to build a news paper, man, a media news paper that covers everyone and everything that people care about, you and I. The things that make us go get up and worry and have to go and make changes. We want to cover those things. We want to be better about what's going on and make sure you people know, instead of the mainstream media hiding the information that they don't want us to know. Let's build it up, man. Go ahead and become a member. We really would appreciate it.
Help us get to 10,000.
Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you. I hope so. All right, man. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Wednesday. We will see you back here on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. We'll talk to you then. Until then, peace out.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.